So I'm from Chicago, born in the Northwest Side. I grew up in Mayfair, which is a little tiny neighborhood right off the Montrose Blue Line. I come from a single parent household, so my mom was our, she was the one taking care of us and holding it down for us. My grandparents also, on my mom's side, played a huge role in our upbringing. They took care of us when my mom was working. My grandpa would always say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And so, I always did my best in school and I really tried to always have good grades so I could make him proud and my mom proud.
Alyssa was a very good student academically, but then she was very well-rounded.
My grandpa was an immigrant from Pakistan, so he always told us about how difficult it was for him to get to school in his village in Sukkur, Pakistan.
And she was a very strong personality. She was comfortable with who she was, and really whatever she set her mind to, she pursued.
I think I was in probably 7th grade at the time, and I remember, Ms. Nelson told us there's going to be some guests coming in, and so they came in and did the activity where it was bias and partiality and stuff, and we were learning about what would make a good juror.
So the lesson was jury selection.
Just meeting two people who were on the path to come to law school. That was completely new to me. There were no lawyers in my family.
She was very vocal in sticking up or defending why certain jurors would or would not make good members of that jury.
I remember as soon as the lesson ended, I went up to Ms. Nelson. I was like, maybe I'll go to law school, and she was telling me about some law school summer camp or future lawyer summer camp she knew about. And so just encouraged me. And she also told me that, at that moment, she told me that she had been interested in law when she went to college. And so I think it kind of just planted a seed in my head, okay, this is an opportunity or a possibility for me to kind of see through. And I carried it with me, in high school and stuff, piquing my interest in different areas, okay, maybe law school after college. I feel because I had this fire and this passion in me for social justice, and at the time so much is happening, and I felt like I need to figure out what I can do. I was 15, 16 at the time, but I still felt like I wanted to set myself up to be able to help people in the future. And so law school just really seemed like the way to go.
And I think her story is just so inspiring because the idea that, as a 12-year-old or 13-year-old, she was inspired by, again, a community member that she didn't necessarily have the relationship with like she had with the teacher, but she really remembered what she learned and the experiences that she had to truly engage her with, our civic system, our judicial system, and that carried through for how many, I don't have the math offhand, but the next, 8 years of her life or whatever, and now that she's on her way to Harvard Law School is so incredible.
I had my interview for Harvard, I believe it was in January, so I knew that I was probably going to hear in second or third round.
Like, that's what you live for as a teacher, I think, to see something that maybe you just didn't realize at the moment what kind of impact you had on the student, or what, guests that you brought into the classroom, the impact that they have had, to be able to hear about that later on. I think that's why teachers do what they do.
If you feel like the law is for you, then it's for you, Don't let anybody kind of push you one way or another. A lot of people have different and strong opinions about law school. They'll tell you, oh, it's too hard, or they'll tell you oh, it's too expensive. But really, I'm telling you right now, there's a way to do it where it's not super expensive, and where if you feel like it's what you're meant to do, then you should do it. And so I hope that, the Lawyers in the Classroom program really kind of puts you on that path and inspires you, and good luck.